Hi, everyone. Welcome to this meeting of the Nantucket Historic District Commission. It's Thursday, June 17th at 1:04. And present at today's meeting, Val Oliver, Abby Camp, John McLaughlin, Kerry Cornwood, Stephen Welch, and Ray Cole. I think that's it. Let's see, first order of business to approve today's agenda. We don't have any modifications to this agenda, right? Okay, can somebody give me that motion?
Motion to approve the agenda. Me. Val.
Oh, Diane is missing. That's why I'm confused. Okay, so we're gonna do the rotation. Okay, you and Steven, since Diane's not here. So Carrie, you wanna just, you'll be in on the.
Just FYI,
Yeah,
you don't have to do a roll call vote. Because everybody.
that's gonna take some getting used to. Oh,
Well,
Well, but I just want to mention who is actually sitting on the
Yeah.
board that's voting. But
Yeah,
thank
you
you
still
for
want to
that.
do that, but at the end, you don't have to do a roll call.
All right,
An actual
lovely.
roll call vote. You just need to know who approves.
Yes, new habits die hard. Yes.
but we have Diane zooming in.
And Adam.
Oh, she is doing that.
Yeah.
Adam's here.
So that's gonna add like an hour. to the
Okay,
meeting.
then with her zooming in.
So we won't see anything.
I can see her, I don't think she can hear.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, listen, I want to
Diane
move it forward. So Carrie's sitting on the motion to approve today's agenda. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, good. Any public comment at this time? Oh, that's great.
No.
Okay, we have one consent item. Let's.
Motion to approve
yeah.
the consent agenda.
Until Diane's on, so Stephen, you're on this one, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, consent agenda passes. Now we're on to new business. Okay, Andrew,
Diane is here.
Diane is here.
She is here.
Okay.
Did you hear me, Ray?
Now, if she wants.
I'm here.
We know who you are.
Okay, so she should be able to come out here.
So can Diane hear us?
Sure, yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Oh.
You are not on this. Diane, let's just confirm that you're here.
I'm here.
Diane, if you're muted, unmute and just say you're here.
I am here. I'm not muted.
All right. Definitely want to keep this moving forward.
I
Sadly,
am
we got to
here.
figure out what's going on with Diane.
Diane, can you say if you're here or not?
I am here.
Okay.
Okay, got that. All right, so Diane, we're on first new business agenda item, okay? Village Way, new dwelling.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Okay, Andrew, you
Okay.
got the microphone.
So if the board recalls, I was here a few months ago, virtually, for the demolition of a cottage that was on this site at 6 Village Way, because it was deemed, it's not historic, but it certainly had a character of the sort of micro context in this portion of Pocono, if you all recall. The existing structure, I don't know if you go to you open up, I've included a lot of photos of the existing condition, both the structure that was approved for demolition and the context that surrounds it on all. If you want to stay on that page, actually, that's probably the most informative page to stay on. Just to refresh you all, this is a pre-existing non-conforming lot that has the ability to have up to a 1,500 square foot of ground cover put onto it. We will need to go to the ZBA following HDC because we will not be with it because it's a non-conforming condition. So the current structure that is on the site is approximately 1,200 square feet. The proposed structure that we're putting on the site is virtually almost the same size, around 1,150. So as far as ground cover goes, we're not really changing the impact on the site very much, but we are pulling it back to the south so that it isn't as tight on the street as the current structure. When you go to the page with the site plan on it, you can see I've included the existing, the next page, Ray, turn the other way, past the photos. You'll see how the current structure is only about 4 feet off the property line on the north side. And the proposed structure, we're putting about 19 feet 7 inches back off the property line on the north. So we're trying to create a little more breathing room on the site. Now, I've spent quite a bit of time studying the homes in this area. There's been a lot of demolition approved over the years with some new houses built to the east of this and some additions put on smaller cottages to the west of this. Additionally, if you look at the existing photos of 2 of the more, I would say, older homes that still exist in the neighborhood, they're very simple boxes with long ridges on them. They're not broken up into a series of additive massing conditions. They're very just simple boxes. So the approach we've taken is to do a simple box. It is a 1.5 story box to keep the ridge height down to 24 feet 10 inches. The ridge is about 44 feet long. And in addition to keep the height down, I've actually sunken the first floor plane down about 12 inches into the grade to minimize the vertical impact of the home. It's a gable forward elevation that would be partially visible from the water on the second floor. And I've tried to create more of almost a cottage look. It has a second floor deck cantilevering off of it that I think is quite simple and really somewhat appropriate for the area. Very simple rhythm of windows, nothing too drastic beyond the fact that it's a box. I don't want to have dormers on it. I want the structure to be something that really almost looks like it was an old barn there that sort of got converted into a home, much like some of the smaller cottages that exist. I don't feel like one of the neighbors' houses next door that the approach of taking a 1-story mass and sticking a huge 2-story mass on the back is something that's really aesthetically appealing and something that suggests that would have been done back in the 40s or 50s when this area developed. The trim on the project is gray, and that is what I have to say. For
Everything?
Everything's gray.
Windows, doors,
Gray.
trim,
Yep.
everything?
Yep.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay. I think I got it. Anybody care to begin on this?
I will.
All right, Abby, thank you.
I appreciate everything you just said about trying to keep the scale of the old building. 24 feet is not that high,
25.
considering all stuff that's going on all over the place. And I like the simple structure and I like the design, so I don't know what's coming next.
Nothing.
Nothing.
You mean for the
Yeah.
piece of
The
property?
landscape is nothing. It's going to be split row fences and grass. That's it. There's nothing here. It's too small.
Wow.
I think she was talking
I'm
about
really-
building.
Oh, yeah, no, this is it. Nothing else.
Okay.
I'm impressed, so, that's all I got. Thank you.
You want to go next? You want to go next, John? Abby's spoken.
Yeah.
Go ahead, John. Yes, John.
All right, my comments is that the changes are applicable to the area. Okay, where is this the front door?
Which elevation are you looking at, John? No, the other side is the front door, but they're virtually the same. There's 2 entrances, one on the back, one on the front. That one's the front that has the porch on it.
Yeah. There's not one double hung window in the whole project.
That's right, John, there is not.
It is very hard to use, which is a modern glass, a 6 light or a 9 light solid, without it being double hung. I think it makes a lot of difference to the neighborhood. It'll stand out. Maybe if you change it around for the area, go see what's there. I've been out there, so if you ought to look into that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That it, John? Thank you. How about you, Diane?
I think that it is a good, simple building. What are the windows going to be if they're not double hung? Are they going to open or what are they?
They will all be I don't want to say they'll all, a few of them will be awning windows that will open as if it was a barn-like condition, tip out, not casement, tip out.
Okay,
Well,
I,
what are
I, in
I don't
this,
know, the rest
think
would be fixed, either fixed or tip out. We don't need to open all of them.
Go on, Diane.
I think in this particular location, they keep the front of the building simpler, and it's sort of tucked away. It is a different concept. I would try and see if anybody else is interested in keeping the windows as he designed them.
Oh, okay, well, it sounds like a lot of these windows are gonna be fixed anyway. It'd be interesting to know which ones were. Thanks, Diane. Val?
I do appreciate the simplicity. I went out there. There was just something about it that feels too big for this site. I almost wish the smaller piece was on the corner as opposed to just the bigger facade with all that glass. Is there anything that you can do to mitigate the impact of, all those doors? There's like 5 doors on that side, right? I mean, I get why, but I didn't see anything similar to that.
Oh, south,
Yeah,
north.
the north. And it is a big roof right on the street.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate the simplicity of the massing, definitely appreciate the gray trim. Because Andrew, you know that I'm a little skeptical about that kind of rake that blends with the corner board thing. In gray, I'm not sure that well, the building's extremely simple, so I'm willing to take a try on this one. So to John's point, it'd be really nice to know which one of these windows are operable. Is that something you can identify?
Yes,
Like
every other one, yeah.
every,
Yeah, there's just no
Every
reason to
other
make
one?
them all operable. They cost a lot more money, and ultimately, a lot of people use air conditioning. So it'd be like, these would be operable, and then these would be fixed.
oh, okay.
That's it. But there's no visual difference in the unit, whether it's operable or not. It's
Except for,
exactly
When
except
they're
for the
open.
fact that when
when they're open, yeah.
yeah, that's John's point, is that they're coming out off of the face of the building.
Are the bees awnings then?
They're all awnings. None of them would be casement, because that's not an appropriate look.
Oh.
Yes, they're
I'm
all
I'm
awnings.
sorry, I
Yeah,
misunderstood.
there's no casement. That's not the
Okay, so
right
there's
look.
no casement windows, John. These are all awning windows, and half of them are fixed. Okay, does somebody want to make a motion on this?
We'll hold for revisions, motion.
Really?
Who's that? Well, what would he be revising?
Could I do staff just clarifying the notes on the windows, what's operable?
John has an issue with the windows. Val has an issue with the massing. Those seem to be.
And the glass thing, the
The
corner.
amount of glass facing, yeah. Well,
I add that above the second floor, in that area, everything is visible.
Correct.
Oh, everything on the first floor is
Totally
visible.
agree.
Yeah.
All right, well, with those, we could make a motion for revisions, just those few revisions.
Yeah, see what we can do. Was that a motion for revisions, Abby?
It was.
Okay. On that motion, John.
Well, no, I'm just thinking.
John said aye. Diane? Oh,
Aye.
I was gonna say, if it's something simple, like he can agree to diminish the glass on the south, like make some of those windows instead of all doors, and make the windows facing the road double hung or look like double hung. They can still be, I
What do
don't
you
know,
think, Andrew?
then you can get an approval.
Yeah.
We have to stop
We-
trying to.
Yeah, so what if I
rather-
did on the second floor, I did, Okay, a single door in the center with 2 large double hungs on the sides and convert the other 2 on the ground floor to double hung. The north elevation has a consistent look of double hung windows.
Let me make sure I understand. So on the second floor of the north elevation, we have 2 double hung windows and a door, a single door? Is that what you're saying?
You would have
Right.
single door, 2 double hungs, and then 2 double hungs there. So the windows all tie in and you get a little more of,
Got it.
this going
Okay.
on.
Everybody
Doors.
understand?
Yeah.
Now, Diane can't see that image. So Diane, on the north elevation, what Andrew is proposing is that you have 1 French door in the middle, a single door flanked by 2 double hungs. And down on the first floor, you would have double hungs instead of the awning windows that are currently labeled as A windows. That's the proposal.
No, and double
I could-
hung on the east side,
No, I don't, no,
because that's the most visible.
I don't want to do that.
Glass is
East
9
side.
light, how do you divide 9
Yeah.
light?
Yeah, you
I don't want to do that.
You're gonna have 9 light and 6 over 6.
Okay, we have to get some kind of consensus here. Now, there was a motion to hold for revisions. That's on the table. I should be moving forward with that. Your motion still stands?
It's standing by itself.
Okay. Okay, sorry. So on the motion, John has already said yes. Diane, you said yes. Here I am. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, her time is important. Okay, Abby on your motion,
Aye.
and Val,
I,
and me, and we're all in favor. Okay, so that's
Okay.
motion for revision. Thank you. Okay.
I thought I was at home and that was my dog barking right now. 'Cause I thought I was on.
Okay, Cabana,
I looked down. I'll look at this one. Because Sharon.
I'll sit off this one, you can carry one of these guys.
oh, okay.
Rotate in.
Yeah. You want to sit on this one?
Sure. Thanks, Val.
I was thinking of proposing
So
like
we just
every,
looked at that.
every so many rotate
Yeah,
and
it used to
alternate.
be frost.
Wait, the first one was number
I
6.
was thinking of proposing Tuesdays, we get artichoke and black olive pizza delivered,
So
requisition part of our budget.
So for the board, this is a house that was approved about 2 months ago as well.
Yep.
I believe Mirka was recently in front of you last week for the landscape plan here.
Yep.
And you had to take this fence down that was probably shown in our
That's
drawing
right.
here.
Yep.
So this is the cabana structure, which is essentially a large pergola that has an enclosed box in it with an outdoor shower and a powder room into it. And the intent is that it would be natural to weather on the outer frame of it, meaning the structure would be natural to weather, and the inset shiplap portions of it would be painted light gray. And we agreed when I was here with the house, based on vegetation and all the deals we brokered, that there will be no visibility of anything really on the ground floor of this property at all. So this will have 0 visibility. Because we're going to enclose this property very heavily with vegetation, as was discussed when you approved the house, and I believe was probably discussed with Mirka last week. So I don't believe there's any chance that any of this can be seen at all,
Okay.
in any way.
All right. And that is a masonry wall facing west, right?
There is a masonry wall facing west, correct, which will have the same stone that was the pavers at the pool stacked up onto it.
All right, thanks. Who would care to begin on this one?
I would.
Oh, John? No, sir.
Yeah, what is this thing? These are lights.
Yes.
Those are
What
lights
is-
on the wall.
What is on the outside material?
So that's, that's white cedar.
This is shiplap, John.
Yeah.
Painted gray. The structure is all natural to the weather. The fencing is all natural to weather, all of this.
Yeah.
And then the stone portion of it, I believe, was a granite, a medium gray granite.
because that's great too.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied, thank you.
Okay, Stephen.
I agree with Mr. McLaughlin.
All right, Abby.
What did John say?
He's fine.
He said he's
He's fine with it,
satisfied.
okay, I'm fine with it.
Okay, Diane.
I,
With us, Diane?
yeah, I'm right here. I just have to unmute. No, if that is gray granite along, it, and I don't think that you will see it at the moment. I think it will fit in. I don't think from looking at the plans, you'll be able to see it at all, what it is. There seems to be plenty of vegetation around and about. So at the moment, I don't seem to have a major problem with it.
Okay, sounds like we have liftoff. Can I have a motion?
Motion to approve, subject to lack of visibility, not to be visible at time of inspection or thereafter.
Okay, sounds good. That's Stephen's motion on Stephen's motion. John,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
Abby,
Aye.
Stephen.
Aye.
Right, aye. Okay, there you go, and one more for you. Yep.
So this is another home in Canterbury Lane.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is another home in Canterbury Lane. This is the smallest of the homes that we've put in front of the board. This was the first house that was approved and built by my office in there about 2 years ago. It's a quite simple, I think, very Sconset-like structure. I'm sure Sconset Advisory Board has comments that will trash it, but it's an asymmetrical gable, 2 stories on one side, 1 story on the other, 3 dormers, gable forward to the street. Again, it's already been approved and built there. So I don't really, and it's a fairly modest house for the size of the parcel compared to other homes that I kind of approved and others.
You
that I-
don't happen to have any photos once or you?
Yeah,
Is it built?
Yeah, it's built.
That would be helpful. You basically say that's it.
Yeah, I believe I do. Let me check.
Maybe elevation.
1800.
So that's a house. He built one of these.
There's
old
no
rectangles.
cell service in here.
I know.
3G world.
Okay, here it is.
Wow.
If you want to just pass that around, right? That's the
Okay.
gable.
Well, proof positive that this model is already exists.
Yeah.
in-
The difference is this application is for white trim, not gray.
That looks natural weather to me.
Oh, maybe it's natural, sorry.
Okay. White trim. No, there's 6 of them. I think this screen is dropped down a little bit or something. There's 6 of them, just like this, John.
Yeah, the screen, it's 6 over 1 shot. Sorry.
Okay. So there it is. You guys interested? That's what we're looking at now. With white trim. Anybody want, oh, Holly.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Sconset Advisor took a look at this on May 17th. Very minor concerns. They actually recognized that this was a structure already done up there.
Mhm.
On the east elevation, which is the front, suggest making that a window taller for balance, which is,
The middle one?
yes. Actually, I think it's smaller, not taller.
Yeah.
taller.
Wait, that's weird. Yeah, so it is tall.
It is.
So they're saying make it smaller,
Yes.
make it the
So
same
it's
size as the
symmetrical.
ones on either side.
Correct.
Okay, got it.
And then on the north elevation, suggest bringing the shed dormer roofs down from the ridge.
Okay.
And that a natural brick instead of a white to go with the other cottage details.
Holly, north elevation, bring the shed roof down off the ridge.
They're not
Yes.
on the ridge.
They're not on the ridge.
Yeah, that's what they indicate.
I mean,
Yeah, they're not, I see
their
that.
name definitely not. Yeah, at least, a foot down from the ridge there.
I think,
Okay.
yes, make it lower off the ridge, I guess lower than what's proposed
So,
is the suggestion. And
That
then
would
the
be
other
tough
one,
because it's a 4 and 12 right now.
Yeah.
You'd have to drop the pitch to below 4 and 12. Thank you, Holly. Board members.
Except for the chimney being painted white, I think it's fine.
Oh, good catch,
yes.
for sure. How about you, John?
Question, where the air conditioning? Are these air conditioners?
Oh, they might
You fell asleep.
Andrew?
Andrew, are you drifting off over there?
Me, no, I'm looking on the site plan if I can see where they are.
Well, he's pointing to the north elevation. There's something silhouetted behind a porch that kind of looks like an air conditioning unit to me. This.
No, it's a bench.
Oh, it's a
not air
bench.
conditioning, It's a bench.
Okay, that's a bench.
Yeah, I'm not putting an air conditioning.
Bench.
No, look, so you can see it on the
Air
north,
conditioning?
on the east.
Do you know where the AC is going? Or is that a
Mirka had it on the
landscape?
plan. Yeah, put it on Mirka when the landscape.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at a landscape plan, but that is not the air conditioning, John. Okay?
That's not being approved today.
That's this thing.
The air conditioning units are not being approved today, correct?
Thank you.
All right, good. Diane?
I think that the dormers on either the east or the west, I have only got the front of the building up right now. I'd like to see the rest. The south elevation, those dormers perhaps could come in a small amount. There's a lot of cheek on either
Hey,
side.
Diane?
Yes,
Diane? There are
yes.
no dormers on the south elevation.
It's the no, what is it? It says, is it the north elevation got the 3 dormers?
Yeah, the north elevation has 3 dormers.
Okay,
But if,
I would like
but,
to
go ahead,
maybe,
Diane.
maybe to bring them in a little bit. They have a lot of room in the dormers. Either that or I don't know how you could make the windows bigger. I think I find on the second floor, second story of perhaps the south elevation, those small windows, the D windows should be made bigger. Those windows right there in that elevation, I would like to see them a little bigger. The A's are a nice size, but those D's are little. It makes I think I would like to see them made bigger. So to go up at least one more size. That's true on all that second floor, is all of them small, except that window that they're saying that the A should become a B on the east elevation. I think that is probably true. It would make more sense.
Okay, thanks, Diane. Val, was your own, did I get you and your own
Yeah,
comment
it was
was the
just
gray
the
chimney?
color of the chimney.
Right,
It's
going
already
from-
built once, I mean.
Okay, Abby,
Yeah, I was wondering if the chimney couldn't be inside.
I think it's a typo. I don't think it's supposed to be white.
no, she said, could it be inside,
Oh, no.
internalized?
No,
It looks
it's not a
like,
very big house. It's like, takes up a lot of room.
it just looks a little bit like an afterthought, but that looks a little sconset-y
It
too.
does,
So.
right. The quirkiness of it, that's what we try to do. I took
Yeah.
it, I've seen the way
No, I
it's
think it's
stepped.
totally appropriate. I could, and that's, the chimney is brick
Brick.
intended?
Yeah,
Okay,
natural brick will
Yeah.
make it.
I'm fine with it.
It's gonna go natural.
Just regular, not unpainted brick.
Unpainted, okay, I thought you were going gray, but, all right, fine. So I'm okay with this, actually, with the chimney being natural as opposed to white. Would somebody want to make a motion on this, where it goes?
I will.
Okay, go ahead, John.
I can't see instance the change would help it any. So I would suggest it's approvable.
Okay, so the one thing that we're hoping to do is he wants to, or this is called out as a white painted chimney. We'd rather have it just be natural brick.
Okay.
Are you okay with that revision?
And what about the middle window on the front?
I don't care about it. I mean, I'd rather it was the same size.
Fine.
Okay, and then this A window would go to a B, John, so that it matches the 2 on the other side. Okay, so John's motion is to approve this through staff, with the chimney being natural to weather and the A window on the second floor of the east elevation going to a B like the two on either side. That's John's motion. On John's motion.
Go ahead. I'm
Okay.
gonna try to read this.
Oh, I will. Hold on one second. Abby,
Aye.
Val,
Aye.
Diane,
I,
thank you. John,
Aye.
and I'm in favor, so that motion carries. There you go. Andrew?
Thank you. The next application is for a shed, basic shed,
Oh, I thought.
right?
No.
What's this?
Nice try, Andrew.
This is somebody else.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
They put it back up.
There's no shed.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm gonna put
No,
it
there's
on
no
that side.
shed. It's.
Thank you all. Delightful seeing you in
Yes,
person.
delightful.
You.
Thanks for coming all the way up from South
No,
Carolina.
I'm here now.
No, he's
I'm here
here
for 2
now.
months now. I'm here.
Oh, no.
He's gotta live in his own house that he built,
That's
remember?
right. Okay, so now we're gonna do a Zoom performance, right?
With your cut?
Yep, it's Adam Davis from Goldsmith Architects here.
Yeah.
Want to sit on this? I'm taking turns with you guys today.
Okay.
Carrie's gonna sit on this.
Yeah, that's great. You guys are gonna get to take turns with me in a minute.
Nobody wants that. Not a shed.
Okay,
This is large.
we're all looking at our drawings here, so, and Carrie's on your board, Val's stepping out for a second. The rest of the main regular board,
Sorry.
you wanna start?
Sure. So this is Adam Davis with Goldsmith Architects. This is a property right next to the one that you just reviewed. And this is the house that was being moved from 9 Hawk Circle, the house and garage, which actually just arrived on site, I believe on Monday. So this application is simply for a pool down on the western side, which is the backyard, pool with bluestone patio surrounding, and small, basically deer fence with privet hedge on both sides.
That's it?
That's it. It's pretty straightforward.
Right out.
It's not a complete landscape.
Okay. No sconset on this, right? Or-
Sconset did review it on May 17th. They had no real concerns, only notated that the pool seemed close to the back property line. Other than that,
The back property
No.
line is public property or?
it's that open space area back there.
So it's a trust property.
Which
Yes.
is likely to go to conservation.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
No such.
Anybody want to start on this one?
I'll start.
Thank you, Carrie.
I appreciate that there's not a ton of hardscaping around it. I think it's concise with the cottage and stepped away from the house and hidden by the house from the road. I think it's fine.
Okay, thank you. Abby, you ready?
Yeah,
Hold
I'm
it up.
okay with that.
Abby's fine. How about you, Diane? You there, Diane?
I'd like to see not to use some, I would like to see something else used than in the fencing, because the privet will be visible through it in the winter time. I'd like to see more natural vegetation used, not quite such a formal square.
Okay.
Is it privet?
It's privet, but it's in the back.
Oh, yeah, it's back. Okay, but it is in the back. Was that it, Diane? Just the privet?
Yeah, that's the only thing.
Okay. John?
I have a comment, where is the fence?
Okay.
Going all the way around.
See, this is privet, right there, and then the fence is set in right in the middle of the 2 layers of privet. You,
The way it looks, I think it's appropriate.
okay, I agree. Diane, I think that 2 layers of privet, it is deciduous, we all know that, but 2 layers of that stuff in the back of the property, I seriously don't think you're gonna be able to see through it. So I'm okay with this too. Somebody like to make a motion on this?
I would,
Oh, John's gonna make a motion.
to approve it, just where is it located with the road? That's what-
Oh, the road's over there.
Over
This
here?
is, yeah, this is Canterbury right here.
Okay, I got
and this
it.
in the back.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, to approve? Okay, John's made a motion to approve, folks. On that motion, Abby?
Aye.
Carrie?
Aye.
Thank you, Diane.
No,
Okay, John?
Aye.
And in favor says motion carries 4 in favor, 1 opposed.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, thank you very much. Nice to see everybody.
Yeah.
All right, so we have Matt up at 28 Main, Wisconsin.
Start when you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a structure you've already seen. Proposing to add a bracketed pergola station inside the property, and then adding a cupola, which with that, the floor here comes. At 28 Main Street, the house is approved and in addition, this is in the very back of the property at the end of the driveway.
Yes, Mr. Chair, so this is, the garage that you all approved. The concerns from sponsor, they took a look at it on May 17th. Cupola not in keeping with the neighborhood, top heavy and too large, unnecessary. Bracket details in the pergola over the side door seem heavy as well, but could work if incorporated a more delicate design. Those are the comments, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thanks. Folks,
Is the pergola natural to weather?
It could be, if you prefer.
Well, that might take some of the impact out of it. No to the cupola, it just seems big to me on the north, which is the side that we're gonna see.
Mhm.
Is it? Yeah.
okay, so prefer natural pergola and no cupola. Abby?
I like the previous, it's so simple.
I know.
It's like such a simple barn, and now all the, the beams going across the pergola, have, detailed Chinese and whatever it's called. I like the simpler version. So,
Okay.
and, yeah, no to the cupola, I think it's just too much.
Okay, thank you. Diane?
I would like to see the brackets holding up the pergola a little not so bulky. They seem to be very wide to carry that pergola up on top. I'd like to see them perhaps less or not so deep, whatever. It looks like the ones on the east elevation come down longer than the one that's on the right for the little roof. And the cupola, I don't know what you've decided. I think it's not appropriate with the building.
Okay, thanks, Diane. John?
The comment on this, the visibility, from what I can see, the outside of the property in the back, the little shed. The only thing that would be visible, possibly actually from it, is the cupola. Cupola should disappear, not break to reflect.
Take a hike. Take a hike.
Okay, take a hike.
That's right, taking a hike. Okay.
Also the door,
Oh,
if it is visible.
actually,
South elevation.
John, I don't think that he's proposing changing the door, right?
Probably down here.
The little drawings are what was approved.
Okay, so, thank you, John.
Yeah.
The cupola is not getting a lot of favor. So I also believe that the pergola, because of its size, very small, but the members are very large. It's kind of like if this were twice as big, 3 times as big, it would be successful, but the fact that it's so small makes those pieces feel really large, so I'd like to see all that stuff scaled down and simplified.
Could I shrink it to like 4x4 stock as opposed to like the 6x6?
Yeah, that would be, well, you get my vote on that.
Like,
And natural to weather.
It is, it's not.
yeah, I don't think we specified, but if we could just.
I think we could do more staff with this X the cupola and smaller members for the pergola. Just leave it alone.
I'd actually like to see that beam go away. I think that you could make that steel and box it in. This could just be like half the size, and you could, that could just be boxed in wood. It's very
The beam
ornamental.
that's holding up the rafters.
Yeah, and the biggest concern I have is not necessarily the two-dimensional aspect, but if you look at the north elevation,
That's a buildup.
that buildup is for such a small pergola, the depth of it, if this were 8 to 9 feet deep, it would, I think it would be more relatable. I still think it would be too ornamental for this structure. But I think that you could have that element if you were to downsize it. One way you might do that is to box, use steel and box it.
I bet you a 4x6.
Yeah, I mean, it's, now that I'm looking at it, it's such a light structure.
I could go to a 4x6.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4x6 beam. Does somebody want to try a motion on this?
Steve, make the motion.
Yeah, you
Well,
you've got the
Steve's not
detail.
actually on.
Yes, I am. All right.
No.
I thought Val was taking turns.
No, well, so Val is, you're next.
Oh, I misunderstood.
She comes back every other one.
Triangulated.
That's the way it's happening, like, right now.
Strike my comments from the record.
Well, I think they were good comments. So, you want to give it a try? You want me to say what it's gonna be? No, through staff,
No cupola.
And the brackets would go to 4x4s, and the beam, the carrying beam would go to a 4x6 natural to weather on the pergola piece. Is that your motion?
That.
All right. Okay.
No cupola.
Oh, and no cupola, we got that, definitely. Okay, so on Val's motion, Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
thank you, John.
Aye.
Very good. And Val on your motion? Val on your motion is you're good. Yes, aye, and Ray Bowles in favor, so that's that.
By the way.
Okay, thank you.
Nice to be here.
Okay,
Get me out of the office.
I'm gonna put my noise reduction headphones on. I didn't mean that because Lisa speaks loud.
You're digging. You're still digging.
So,
Hello, Lisa.
Oh, hi, Diane. So this is, I don't know if this is the demo / move. It's an existing building on the corner of Brunel Street and New Street. It's a small little one-story cottage that I believe Chris Holland actually built in 2001, I believe, is the date of it. Oh, 2004, excuse me. So that's the first part of the application. The second part is basically to replicate the building in a slightly larger scale, but a very similar design.
So our first thing is move off or demo the building. Shall we do that first?
Yes.
Okay, so you've just explained it, Abby.
I think I'm
Aye.
I'm fine with it.
Okay,
Madam Chair, just for the record,
Yeah.
Wisconsin Advisory did take a look at it on May 17th. They had no concerns.
all right, thank you. So Abby, Val, have you got anything you would like to add?
No, I'm okay with it.
Okay, Carrie
Not on this.
and Johnny,
Uh,
Are you-
I don't think any great certificate. Yeah. With the area. Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, they're gonna put a new dwelling in its place, so they gotta move it, do something with it.
all right,
Okay.
so if I could get a motion to demo or remove.
Madam Chair, I know you
Yeah.
didn't forget about me.
No, I thought I got Johnny, Val, Abby, Carrie, and me. That's 5.
No,
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 Carrie,
Carrie.
even.
I really want you on that.
That's not 5.
Carrie's not on it.
Oh.
Steve is on.
Steve, it doesn't say on mine, so I thought she was on it. Steve, what is your view?
I'm fine with it, emphasis on the move, but I'm fine with it.
All right. So could I get a motion to move or demo, please?
No, Tina Hoskins?
Motion to approve.
Thank
Move
you.
demo.
All righty. Abby,
Aye.
It's cute.
Stephen,
Aye.
Johnny,
2004.
John,
2004.
Thank you. Aye.
thank you. And Val,
I'm an I.
and I'm an I also. Thank you. So now we're going to see the new dwelling.
Okay.
Could I ask a real quick favor before you go too far? Could you
Yes.
hold down the personal discussions, because I can't hear what people are saying. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff. Please.
Thank you. So,
So this is
So
the
what-
new dwelling to take its
Yeah.
place. It's again, a one-story building. We've added some shed space and just made it a little bit larger to become a real dwelling. The other one was a dwelling and permitted as such. It was never used as a dwelling. It was more a garage. But this, they would like to make it into a cottage, so we demolished it. But kept it single story and tried to keep the character of it while still giving it the space they needed.
Was your sponsor?
thank you. Thank you. Abby, would you like to begin?
Madam Chair, Wisconsin Advisory did take a look at it. They had no
Yes.
really substantive comments on it. There was just one notation about the south elevation where there a lack of fenestration on the right-hand side. But it reads as a shed, was a notate on that, and it's reminiscent of the previous structure that was once there or going to be not there. So that was good. We did have a comment about photos of the street that wasn't included in the application. Other than that, no comments, Madam Chair.
Oh, I think that photo
Thank
was
you.
to show
Thank you.
the hedges.
All right, so Abby, would you like to begin?
Well, I had folded up because I was okay with it, but now I'm thinking about HSAB's comment on the, south elevation. Lisa, is there?
Well, that was the photo that Holly's referring to, which I didn't remember to email her. It's a very large hedge, because it's right on the corner of,
Yes.
Yeah.
they don't want to expose that elevation.
Right,
It's
right,
low.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay with it, Madam Chair.
That's right.
Thank you, thank you. Val,
I also am okay with it. I went out and looked at it. You won't see
Val?
that side. It will be backed up to a hedge.
all right, thank you. Stephen,
I think Carrie's on this one.
Come on, just go. Use the poorly.
I'm fine with it if I'm on it.
both the same,
Charming little,
I don't have anything that says you're not on it. So.
I said it's a charming structure, Madam Chair.
two of
Thank
the
you.
same- Thank you. Johnny,
Yes, thank you.
Johnny,
North elevation and south elevation and east elevation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6. They're listed as.
They're listed as casements.
And they're listed as casements.
They can become awnings.
And do they flip out or what do they
Well,
do?
some would be fixed, but if you prefer, they could become awnings where they pop out.
They're in the visible area, that's what I was trying to say, and they're highly visible. The other one is this one here, C, on the north elevation is a C window. And what does that do?
That would end up being, that one would be fixed, But the
Why
beams-
couldn't it match all of the other double hung?
because there's a sink in front of it.
How much?
There's a vanity in front of it. Needs to be, the window needs to be shorter. That was the reason.
Are those casements like on the oldest
Right
house?
here.
or-
This is visible.
Right, right. But I could make it a fixed unit.
It should be made a double hung, to match the others, it looks odd in there.
So it would have to be a 3/6 double hung.
That's right. Huh?
John, it would have to be a 3/6 if,
A
if,
weighted double
if it
hung,
were changed and voted that way.
which is fine. I'm okay with that.
That was my question, could it convert it to match the rest of them?
You can't match them exactly, but it could become a 3 lights over 6 light double hung. You know, a weighted double hung. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's like a cottage window. They're not even.
That's fine, that's perfectly.
That's just my question on it. It looks odd looking there compared to the rest of them. Thank you.
Is that the side we're gonna see?
Well, it's in the driveway.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm
Okay.
happy.
so
Yeah.
what do we want to do? Do you want to hold it for revisions for the
No,
windows?
Get rid of it.
Motion to approve
If I
with
could
the.
finish. Hello,
Yeah, you-
through staff, what would you like the motion to be?
The motion, I would like to make a motion to,
You follow-
Motion to approve making the C window on the north elevation, is it 3/6?
Yes.
3/6, working window.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Val,
didn't we just motion and approve it?
Val,
Doing the voice vote.
no, we made a
Oh,
We made a motion and now
I
we
tried
are
to make
approving.
a motion.
Thank you. Johnny. Johnny,
Johnny's an aye, Diane.
thank you. Stephen,
I'm a no.
a no. All right, and I am an aye. So we have 4
How about Abby?
to 1. Thank you. I got her as an aye.
Okay,
John,
yeah, Abby's in.
myself.
Yeah, okay, so next up is 10 Union. Joseph, you want to approach the bench?
Here I am. And before you flip through the pages, I just want to,
I'll come back if I get there.
I've revised what you're looking at based on HSAB's comments, so what you're looking at will be revised. I have some revised drawings with me that I thought might help.
Okay. What we're looking at here is pre-HSAB or post-HSAB?
Pre-HSAB.
Pre, okay, all right. So, is there anything you want to say about it, or?
Yeah, there is. So this is a proposal to add some French doors in place of some casements that are on the side yard on the north elevation. Yeah, on the north elevation flanking the chimney are two existing bays that have 3 casements in them, bottom left.
Yeah, got it.
And we proposed originally to put French doors there to match the French doors that are on the east elevation.
Yep.
And so HSAB, there was some discussion about, by the way, those bays are not, the building's 1920s, those bays were added. I think Angus remembered working on them, actually.
Design Associates.
Yeah, so they're not original to the house, those bays, but the proportions of those casements were talked about, and one of the suggestions that gained some traction was to take the proportions of the casements and turn them into French doors with a panel below. So I did make that change. I'm not expecting this to get approved at the table, but we went ahead actually and changed the other French door that was kind of a typical 15 light door, which really didn't have the character that this building really warranted. So the proposal would be to make all the doors match using the proportions of those casements as the motivation for it, or the inspiration, I should say. You can pass as an extra one there if you want to pass it to Val.
So, sorry, did you just say you were going to reuse those windows that are on either side of the chimney now?
No, we redesigned the French doors that we had proposed based on the proportions of those casements, and I just provided a drawing of what.
Okay, so.
That's in response to HSAB.
Thank you, Joe. Just,
Yes.
we know what HSAB is going to say, but let's just.
Yes, so you all have seen this structure before, 1920s, 1930s. And you looked at it on Monday. The small sheds on either side of the fireplace read as bays, and having French doors in a bay is awkward. Perhaps 3 narrow doors with lower panel to give the appearance of tall casements, and then an option to recess the French doors in the existing bays, with still glass at top and a panel below was the comment. I did also mention that this elevation is possibly visible from Union Street.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially when the current condition, but Joe did mention that there'll be a landscaping plan coming in at some point.
I actually like it open. Somebody was grousing to me about losing all the landscape, but now we get to see what a great house that is.
Oh, yeah, that's why they bought the property, was because of that.
Oh, so Max doesn't have it anymore?
No?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right.
A new owner, and they had another small house in town, which they sold, so it'll be their family
Okay.
house.
A great house, fabulous house. Okay, folks,
Well, I liked what HSAB had to say and wanted to take the initiative to draw it and actually change the standard 15 light that was already there in response to their comments. The one comment about the recess, which was Angus mentioned, was at the beginning of the meeting, they said because of it's a bay, it feels a little weird with French doors. But then they said if those doors were long and skinny, they could all open, and then that would be fine with it. And Angus thought, well, one thought was to push the doors back in so they're at the same plane as the gable, and those little things would become like mini porches.
oh, that's what that was all
Yeah,
about?
and that seemed to, and keep the side windows, that seemed a little odd to me.
Yeah.
So I went with
I got
this.
an idea for something even more simple.
Well, you want to start, Abby?
Yeah, I think
Okay,
it
go.
should stay the same. I think it's charming with the, you know, the windows there with the shutters and on either side of the fireplace with the little bays. I think it's charming the way it is.
Well, I don't disagree with that. But,
The shutters don't really work like proportionally, because there's only
Right.
2 shutters, but 3 windows.
Val,
I like the proposal that he's giving us today to make them all match, in terms of pane size. I'm still uncertain about the north. I'm pondering it.
okay, you want me to come back?
Sure.
All right, Diane?
I like the narrower windows by the chimney. The shutters don't follow unless they're fold over shutters on both the east and the west elevation. You've got mulled windows with only shutters at either end. They perhaps should take them off or whatever, or make them so they're the double shutter that unhinges. But other than that, I wouldn't do anything else to it.
The shutters are existing.
Okay,
Change is what you see here on the north elevation.
Yep.
And then you see here on the west elevation. Those are the only
right,
proposed
that's
changes.
making that a 12 light door. I guess three times 4 would be 12. So that's what I'm fine with that.
Okay, thank you, Diane. John?
Yeah, east elevation,
No changes to these.
okay, well, I'm looking at the
Yeah,
French door, down there, multi-pane door.
yeah,
I can't see if it's existing or not.
it is. All of that's existing, no change there. So John, the only thing they're changing is right now, see these windows?
Right,
He wants to put French doors in. That's what he's asking.
right, he's having the one up here.
Yes.
And frankly, I really don't want to get an approval for what I submitted, but what I redrew, I like better.
I'm sorry to say that.
What I redrew, in response to 8SAB, I like better than my original submission.
He's
So-
putting panels underneath this, making 3 doors instead of 2. And he's putting panels underneath. That's to make them look more like the existing windows.
Okay, thank you. I think it's approvable.
Okay, I actually think it's really handsome. I should say the revised version, and I'm okay with changing that additional door. So, oh, and then Val, you hadn't quite finished.
No, I'm okay with it because I do believe they're gonna screen it like it used to be. So I'm gonna call this Exhibit A.
That's, Exhibit A is the revised post, 8SAB drawing.
Yeah,
Okay, that's good.
Divine.
That's, yeah, this is Exhibit A. This- right.
Exhibit, are you making a motion?
I will.
Okay,
Motion to approve through staff per Exhibit A.
okay. And Diane, I'm not sure that you're privy to Exhibit A, but that was Joe's, he changed the double doors to triple thinner doors with a kick panel on the bottom to make it
Okay.
more the windows. That's what that looks like. So that was Val's motion. On the motion, Abby,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
thank you. John?
Yeah, I have a question here.
Uh,
Before you move to motion.
Well, I did already.
I'm
Go
looking
ahead.
at this window here, it's like,
Yeah,
apparently.
Oh, those side windows.
Windows are changed.
I wasn't sure if those side windows were actually there. That's a note from one of my staff members to me on that drawing. The
They
side-
want
those
to
little-
get rid of that long and keep this one?
No, we wanted to those little side windows, the sill height is, in an ideal world, all the glass lines up. So that,
right. Do those windows exist?
they do exist.
So they do exist.
They do exist, but that sill height would probably need to be adjusted about 7 or 8 inches so that it lines up with the new door.
Yes,
Yeah,
understood.
that's what they said.
So,
I'm confused about it. This here has a multi-pane door on the east elevation.
yeah, so John, that's not that, that's this. That's this right here.
Yeah,
This piece right here, you can't really see because of the vegetation.
behind there.
Correct.
Thank you.
All right, so the motion is to approve Exhibit A, which is the revised, this is to approve it. So are you okay with that motion?
Aye.
Okay, John's in, and Val, you made the motion, so you in.
Aye,
So there we go, that's that. Okay. All right.
I'll rotate out again.
Well,
so
and
somebody-
actually, let's see. the next
Oh,
one,
you're
I
gonna
think
rotate
I
out.
think I need, yes, I do need to recuse.
And I'm gonna go out for 7.
Well, no, don't everybody all
No, no, no,
abandon
not
ship?
now, not now, it's all organized.
Oh, okay.
We don't even know.
It's in control. All right. Good to know. All right, so I need to recuse from this. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
So the little box in the middle of the table is going to chair for you. And who's sitting on this?
I am.
I'm not. You are.
I am.
Diane, obviously, you're chairing it. John and
I guess Carrie.
Carrie?
I don't think she can, because the plans
Oh,
were previous.
yeah, okay.
That's
So-
not any financial.
Right.
But these
impact.
plans, are these Luke's plans?
Well,
No, but
then-
part of the issue has to do with that.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, yeah.
sounds good.
So
Now, Steve,
Great project.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Harry, are you not sitting on it?
no,
Carrie is not. Stephen is.
Abby's sitting on it.
Abby is.
Okay. Abby. So Carrie's off and Abby.
We have Abby, Kara, me.
No, no. Carrie can't sit on this. She's recused, so it's Stephen.
Steven is
Sorry.
on, and Val is gone, right?
Yeah, Val's on.
I'm here, yeah.
Okay. So, Sarah,
Partly why we had to come back is that in going through for the sort of foundation issues, we realized that we needed to remeasure the house and found that there were some discrepancies with the old plan that we were working on. And so the house itself is shrinking by about 100 square feet. And that's existing structure. And then I'm requesting to shrink one of the side Ls by 6 inches. And the reason for that, you had previously approved the demolition of both the rear L and the side L. And the side L, which is the single story that faces Gull Island, when we realized we were going to take it down and rebuild it, I wanted to pull that side and the rear back so that it didn't compete with the original dining room window, so that it allows me to have a gutter on the fascia and the water gets dealt with better. So that's the rationale for the dimensional changes. The grade is existing, it doesn't change. We just factored in what the grade would be and how much of the foundation would be visible. Where it says brick veneer, that actually is old brick that was on site that we've reused, and it's not the stick-on brick, it's actually the original brick. It will have lime mortar, very tight joints, and it will run from the foundation's footing up to the sill. As we work our way around, I'm requesting to eliminate the 2 windows that were on the gable end of the right L addition next to the fireplace chimney there.
What side is that?
So I'm looking at the proposed west elevation.
821.
Okay.
Did you say why you were taking out the windows on either side of the fireplace?
It's a really small room, and I've got a lot of windows on both sides, and it faces my neighbor's property, and so there's not a lot of space in between the two. So I'd like to have bookshelves on the inside, And I figured since there were already a lot of windows in that small space, I didn't need the 2 windows on the end. They were previously 9/9. They were not original. The whole structure was built in the 50s.
Addition.
Yeah, that's this whole addition, not the main house, but the addition was 1950s. I did take into consideration Abby's comment the last time I got approval, which was to have a more traditional stack on the chimney. And so I looked at the ones that were in the area, and given the size of what I needed to do for code, I did sort of the smallest that I could get away with, and then did a cap that was very sympathetic to everything in the area that I could find on smaller chimneys. Working the way around, so the small window, the dormer, and the small 6-light window, you'd previously approved that 6-light window, and that's to capture light into the 3rd floor stair. In going through, we realized that that window actually fell in the middle of the gable end rafter. And in order to not cut into the original rafter, we shifted that window up, which necessitated having a small shed dormer sort of above that connects to the rear L addition. Continuing around, I added, so where it says add window, there was a window, then a space, then 2 windows. I added a 4th window there. There are 2 windows underneath there. Those are additional again, because we have the existing grade is high enough to fit that in the back. We added steps, obviously, to accommodate grade. Everything else had been approved previously. Again, because of the grade, previously I had approval for a bulkhead door. I felt that because we had enough headroom, I could do a stairwell and have a door flush with the side of the house, which would be less intrusive. If we're looking at that same A-2-1 on the front, back on the front of the property, I should have mentioned this. The 3 windows, they were previously approved as 9/9s to match the existing B window, which was right next door on the main body of the house, which those windows are original. In holding that 9/9 up, because of where this fascia falls on this house, and we've matched what was existing exactly. That 9/9, basically was too tall for that space, and I couldn't keep the same sill height, and so it looked funny to drop the sill height down in order to accommodate the 9/9. So I shrunk those to the cottage 6/9. You probably won't notice it as much because you'll still have the window sort of underneath the soffit a little bit, but again, it is a change from what had been previously approved. In going to A-2-2, if we look at the proposed south elevation, I'm requesting a revision. Originally, it was a 6/6 window on that 1950s addition. I would like a 6-light. That's actually in a bathroom there.
Where is it?
This is on the very back of the house, this proposed south elevation. And it's on the interior space, or sorry, the interior wall of that 1-story L. You almost can't see it. It's on the other side of that porch. It's like a tiny, you basically, it says E and it says revised window. So it was a previous 6/6 window that was there, and I'm asking for it to be a fixed 6-light window, or awning 6-light window. You can sort of see that new dormer to accommodate that 6-light window in the 3rd floor stair. And then you can also see the revised bulkhead stair coming down on this side of the porch, and the porch stairs that were added on both the west side and then going around to the east side where it says add steps. And then on the main body of the structure on the 2nd floor, again, still on the south elevation, I'm requesting to revise a window. That was an existing 9/9 window in a 2nd floor bedroom. And I would like to keep the same opening, but have a 6-light window there. And then if we go to the proposed east elevation, it's really just, again, it's not veneer in the sense of stick-on brick, it's actual solid brick, and that follows the existing grade. It's not a grade change.
All right.
Hey, Madam Chair, it's Ray. And I just wanted to say, John is going to be recusing from this. So that's going to mean we have a 4-person board. I think it's fine. It's my own opinion, but, so John has recused. There you go.
All right.
Madam Chair?
Yes, Holly, do we have a thing from Hashad?
Yes, ma'am, we do. So first, I just wanted to mention to the commission that you all are probably very familiar with this structure. It is a contributing structure, and you all did have a historic determination for the main portion of this structure on your agenda this week under consent. ESAB did take a look at this on May 24th for these proposed alterations. I will say that there may have been a little bit of confusion on their end from looking at it. But they indicated the combinations of existing additions on the back of the house tells a story of its age and the transitions through generations of owners. It is a shame to lose all the sense of character, but I will add, with my addition to that, the main part of the body of the structure is still intact, and the proposed additions still are going to be replacing those proposed or those previous additions. The previous additions were small in scale and somewhat quirky, while the new rear addition is of considerably different scale and character. I will say that this is better than what was previously proposed at one other time. Proposed additions should be broken up to reflect the existing scale of the existing rear additions. On the west elevation, dormer doesn't work. It should be removed to retain original roof line. I don't necessarily agree with that, because I understand the intention of wanting to retain that beam. The addition itself is not cloud and does not represent a previously approved massing. I do agree with their intention that their comment that the revisions kind of were not clear at all. But overall, those are their comments, Madam Chair.
Oh, thank you. All right. So this is a lot to remember and figure out. So make a run of it for Abby.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job dealing with the back of this house. It's very complicated, and what you're doing to shore it up and make it a stable foundation and so forth. I appreciate that. I guess it's the north side that you would see walking up Gull Island. I think there's not many changes, and I think you've done a great job. And I don't think you're going to see the back. Someone from the Lily Street or what is that new Regatta Inn maybe? I don't know. Who's
No,
behind you?
No one can see it because Lily is so high.
Yeah.
And it's Tom Loewy's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my only comment is I would like the chimney to be corbelled more like an older chimney you might see that goes in maybe 2 or 3 times instead of the 2 bands. That's just a suggestion too. It's just my, and I do miss the windows on either side of the chimney, in that, first of all, I think you're gonna miss that western light because the sunsets are so beautiful there. You did say it was right next to the neighbors, but it does look a bit like a blank wall on either side.
So it's, and you don't want me to answer now.
Yeah.
It's 16 feet from the neighbor.
Let's hear from the commissioners before we answer questions, okay?
That's it, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Karen.
Mary's not on it.
Tina, Val.
I have nothing. I think that the west
dormer thing is a little bit unusual, but hey, that's what old Nantucket was, unusual. You did what you had to do, so I'm okay with it.
All right, thank you. Stephen,
Yeah, thanks, Madam Chair. First of all, I appreciate the changes. I think there's nothing that's inappropriate about what's been proposed. Thank you, Madam Chair.
all right, and I would have, can I see the lower, what is it? Where the kitchen is, where the 4 windows that are there now that weren't there before. There were just 2 windows. I would like perhaps to have just the 2 windows, not the 4 windows.
What elevation, Diane?
I beg pardon?
Which elevation are you talking about?
I don't know.
Oh.
They're not giving me all the invitations. I'm sorry I can't be there, but that's,
The
there it
west,
is. It's
On the
the west
north, you mean?
elevation.
west.
Yeah, you wanted that to stay as 3?
It's 3
Yeah.
now, and they're just filling in 1.
It's for, yeah, it's, I would like to have it as 3, not to have the whole wall of glass there at that point, that's all. And, I see why you're adding the dormer. I think that was mainly, and I, might feel with Abby that at least one window go back where the chimney is, either side of the chimney, but I would like to see the wall there originally. That is original on that wall, is it not, Sarah?
It's the 1950s addition.
It is.
The 2 windows that are there were 9/9s to the 1950 infill. It was a screen-in porch originally.
Right, well, if it doesn't fit in, I just think it gives strength to the 2 windows behind the chimney and the wall. So if you could just look at it and see what you think to be. And I appreciate the work because I have been in that building and I know what was there and what you had to find. I'm surprised you didn't find any secret rooms, but
We did.
I think the staircase going down to the basement sort of is good rather than the cap. So Johnny's not on it and Carrie's not on it. I believe we have the others who are on it. And so I don't know what you would like to have as a motion, but let's try one.
I'll make a motion to approve as submitted.
Okay. I am Abby.
Yeah, I'm an I. I think it's fine.
Okay. So am an I also, so that makes all of us that are sitting on it. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Nice job, Sharon.
Yeah, good job.
Oh, Sarah, maybe you'll install it.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
Okay,
May I have,
so, motion carried.
I'd like to do something, yes.
John has a magic trick
I
he
don't
wants to show you,
know the
Sarah.
lady, okay? But
This is Sarah.
many years ago,
Oh.
this was in my grandfather's house.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
my.
I'd love to see that.
I had carried it for years.
That's so cool.
I want to present it to her.
Oh.
No, you take the whole thing.
Oh, thank you. Oh, my goodness, that's amazing.
If you want more information on the whole history of it, can't do it here.
I will definitely do that. So I actually am going for historic tax credit, so we've done a lot of research on the house.
Our chairman, our director knows all about me, so sometime give me a call.
Definitely.
That's great.
Who took
Trying to get rid of it.
Well, that's terrific.
It
She'll
says on
love
it,
it.
William
She'll totally love it. Okay,
No,
so
I
that's
want
for
it
you.
back.
John was not on, Stephen, you were on.
It looks
Okay,
great.
let's see if we can knock off one or two more before we adjourn. So, Joseph Hall told me that all those Washington Street were holding, right?
Yeah, my client wanted to participate in the meeting, so she asked if we could move those to Tuesday. 71 Washington.
Yeah.
There's the cottages.
Okay, so can somebody give me a motion on that?
Motion to hold 10, 11, and 12
Till Tuesday?
till Tuesday.
Okay, on the motion, Carrie,
Aye.
Diane,
Aye.
thank you, John,
Aye.
Val on your
Aye.
motion. And I'm in favor, that motion carries. Okay, so now, Joe, you have, number 13, Skinnell, 119R Eel Point
Carrie,
Road.
you sit on it.
Right.
I'm letting Carrie sit on it, so Steve's sitting for Abby.
And this house is approved, it was approved with a cupola. It's a 9-foot square cupola. My client asked me to bring it to you as a larger cupola. The house is actually framed up to the roof, and there's a hole right now for the cupola. So we could potentially mock up a cupola.
Wow, that would be good. It's too bad you didn't take pictures.
Well, we didn't have them mock it up because I knew the meeting was today, but it just occurred to me that I wanted to see where the meeting went, but there's a possibility we could mock up what this might look like. The only thing is that it doesn't have a porch on the building, so and it's a construction site, so.
So it's gonna look.
It
Yeah.
looks, yeah, it's definitely.
Do you want to get a temperature of the board? now?
Yeah, I'd like to get a temperature of the board. I mean, we went from 2 windows to 4 windows. I think the client asked us to go for this because they would like to have that be an occupiable space versus an 8-foot by 8-foot square, right on the interior. Right now, this is a 13-foot square that's proposed. The house is a chunky gambrel, and it felt like it could fly. It's a natural wood roof, and it does have white trim.
Hey, I just had to say, this does beg the question, of, we have the 30-foot ridge limitation, and roof walks are exempt for that, chimneys are obviously exempt from that. Cupolas heretofore have been exempt from that, but I don't believe we've ever had this challenge of like actually having a room in the cupola. Did you say 16 by 16?
It's 13 square.
13 by 13, it's a room. It's smaller than this room, but not much smaller. And so, boy, if I were a building inspector, I'd say, gosh, that's part of the architecture, that's part of the, space, and therefore you're above zoning. Just my own little aside.
Sounds like a job for the zoning inspector, actually.
There you go.
Might just say.
Okay, so, but in terms of the aesthetics of this thing, how can we get a sense from the board?
I would, if you're gonna do a mock-up, I would prefer to see a 3-window proportionately reduced than a 4-window. I don't think the 4-window is appropriate. I don't know that a 3-window is appropriate, but I think a 3-window mock-up and a revised drawing would be more appropriate to at least you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thanks.
I'm on board, oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead,
I
Carrie.
thought you were looking
Go ahead,
for me.
Carrie.
I'm on board with that 3 thing, because also the end elevations, I think the 4 looks massive. The house is massive on the long elevations, and the 4 almost cuts it, but I think the 3 is a good compromise. And then also on the ends, I think the 3 is better.
Okay, thank you. John?
Yeah.
On
Okay.
road.
First, number 1, the cupola is inappropriate on this style of structure. It should take a hike, as usual, I say. The other is that the normal proper.
Everything else is approved, John. It's just the cupola.
Yeah,
It's just the cupola.
It's just for the sugar.
Right.
Thank you.
all right,
I think it should take a hike and just leave the straight roof.
okay.
I didn't have a crystal ball, but I knew that's what you'd say.
Yeah. Thank you, John. Diane?
I think that it would be better without the cupola. And I think the 4 is too big because it goes, if it didn't stick up so high, it's higher than than a roof walk would be. So I don't know. I'd like to see it with a clean roof and see what it looks like. Because on the way you have it drawn, the on the rear, the cupola does not sit over the 3 windows below it evenly. It's a kilter, and I don't know why. It's it's in that elevation in the middle, and it's it's off kilter. But anyway, I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it clear without anything, and then with the 3 windows.
Okay,
Yes.
thanks, Diane.
That's correct.
Hey, Joe, I think the best we could possibly do for you is to see the mock-up with the 3 windows. I think that's as big as it's gonna get. I would check it out with the building inspector or zoning inspector, as Steven said.
I think that's a good suggestion. How does a mock-up work in terms of timing?
You mean with the board? You just let Kathy know, like, we usually do our viewings on the weekends. You put it up by Friday of X week. Call Kathy, say that the mock-up's there. She sends out the bulletin to all of us saying that the mock-up's there for viewing, and then just take a lot of pictures.
Okay.
Okay? All right, so can somebody give me a motion on this one?
Motion to hold for a view and a mock-up.
Okay, that's a great motion. On the motion.
Oh, and revised drawings.
Oh, yeah, of course, revised drawings. Thanks, Stephen. On the motion, John?
I have a comment.
Yeah, go ahead.
That gentleman just said that everything but the cupola has been approved.
Correct.
The 4 window cupola. There's a small window already approved.
No, I understand what I just heard. My question is this thing right here, for the 6-inch pitch,
5.
what,
5.
excuse me, 5 and 12,
Salt in the wound.
and the minimum is 6, so that was never caught, apparently. And the other is, this has already been approved, this whole unit, with the circle,
Yeah, it faces the neighbor, that's why.
and it's 76 feet long. I just say, take the height, and if that's all the request is,
Okay, so he's gonna do a mock-up anyway, but so you in favor of Stephen's motion, John?
what's your motion?
To revise it to a 3 so we can look at the drawing, to do a mock-up, so we can look at the mock-up, and, what was the other part? There's 3 parts.
Revised drawings.
Oh, a view.
3 bays. Ooh, a
Not
view.
obviously part of it.
Wants to, yeah.
John, the 2 window cupola is already approved, just to be clear.
What?
The 2 window cupola is approved currently, just to be clear.
Ooh, does anybody remember voting for it?
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently somebody did. Okay, that's my question.
All right, thank you, John.
Thank you.
Diane on the motion?
Yes,
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Aye.
Carrie? Val?
I'm not on it.
Not on. Did I get everybody?
Stephen?
All right, Stephen on your motion, that's right, and I'm in favor, so the motion carries. Okay, hey, folks, the motion was, he's gonna do a mock-up. Just- that's-
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey, it's 2:37. What, NAG, are they even present?
No, we didn't know we were gonna be hybrid until
Yeah, okay.
Chip's here.
So,
He has a, he's virtual. He's
Oh, he-
well, but it's already past, I have a 3 o'clock meeting.
Have a great weekend,
Why
everybody.
don't we adjourn? It sort of seems like a convenient place to do it.
Motion to adjourn.
Let me just ask, do we need to take care of anything before we motion to adjourn?
I'm working on the schedule.
Okay, so,
Can we meet next door at 5 on Tuesday?
5 PM.
Okay,
Upstairs or
Very
down?
down, no more upstairs. I think they turned it into a corridor to get to the.
Oh, no.
I do like the downstairs room, except that it's hard to spread the plane.
It's tough,
Oh.
yeah.
Maybe we should get a table for someone.
It makes me feel so empowered.
Yeah, very executive.
Okay, so there is a motion to adjourn on the motion.
Aye.
Aye.
No, we're gonna adjourn, John. We'll pick it up later. So Abby on the motion,
Aye.
Diane on the motion.
Aye.
Thank you, John, on the motion.
Aye.
All right, and I'm in favor.
Arrivederci.
Okay, good night.
Bye.
Good
You look
afternoon.